Divorce isn't something anyone wants or expects to happen when they walk down the aisle. But sometimes things just don't work out. And sometimes hopes for a speedy divorce don't work out either. Wonderwall.com is taking a look at some of the celebrity divorces that dragged on and on and on. Starting with this couple. The Real Housewives of New York City alum Bethany Frankel delivered a bombshell in September 2020 during an appearance on Watch What Happens Live, when she revealed that she was actually still married to ex Jason Hoppy. The former couple, whose relationship crumbled on reality television, split back in 2012, but their bitter divorce continued to drag on and make headlines for years. While Jason has been pushing for years to have the judge sign the divorce judgment, Bethany's lawyers have objected, Jason's attorney said in 2019. The modern-day gold standard for a drawn-out divorce has to be that of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver. After 25 years of marriage and a cheating scandal involving a secret child, Maria filed to divorce the former governor in 2011. Guess where they are today? Yep, they're inexplicably still married and showing no signs of wrapping things up. They both have new significant others now, and their kids are all adults, so there's no looming custody battle brewing. They also worked out an agreement years ago to divide their property. Money isn't an issue either. Yet, for some reason, they're still married. Congrats? Keep reading to see more celebrities whose divorces haven't exactly blazed through the court system at lightning speed. Jesse Williams and Aaron Drake Lee were married for 5 years, but it took them nearly 3.5 years to finalize their divorce. It was messy, to say the least. After they split in early 2017, she accused him of having an unhealthy temper and a revolving door of women. He claimed she was the one who verbally abused him. When she asked for an increase in her child support payments, she was getting $50,000 a month. He labeled her demands absurd and greedy and in no way related to the children or their needs. A judge signed off on their divorce in October 2020 after the exes reached a settlement at long last. The Cabin in the Woods star and Drake Lee split in April 2017 after nearly 5 years of marriage. When a judge signed off on the terms of their contentious divorce in October 2020, the pair agreed to share joint legal and physical custody of their children, 7-year-old daughter Sadie and 5-year-old son Maceo. Williams was ordered to pay $40,000 per month in child support, but held on to the $936,810 he earned from his work on the ABC medical drama in the years since the duo called it quits. Fans were shocked when Angelina Jolie filed to divorce Brad Pitt in September 2016 after nearly 12 years together and 2 years of marriage. But perhaps even more shocking is that the legal proceedings have dragged on and on. 2.5 years later, in April 2019, a judge restored them to single status after the pair asked for a bifurcated judgment, which allowed them to be legally single while they continued to negotiate a financial settlement and permanent custody agreement for their kids. In October 2020, they began a private trial in an attempt to settle the custody side of things. But in the spring of 2021, 4.5 years later, things still were not settled. Talk about a mess. John Schneider and girlfriend Alicia Allen celebrated their love with a marriage ceremony before God, they told People magazine in July 2019, even though he was still legally wed to Elvira Ellie Schneider. Ellie filed for divorce back in December 2014, and the legal proceedings lasted for nearly 5 years. In 2016, John was ordered to pay Ellie nearly $19,000 a month in alimony, but was either unable or unwilling to make the payments, leading to a 3-day jail sentence in June 2018. In August 2019, TMZ reported that a judge had finally signed off on the divorce, but had penalized John for his actions, which included selling off one of their Louisiana properties without splitting the proceeds and draining one of their IRA accounts. The judge ruled that Ellie will get their $600,000 California property, another IRA worth $60,000, a portion of John's Screen Actors Guild pension, $25,000 in monthly spousal support, plus $279,000 to pay her legal fees. This is downright crazy. Khloe Kardashian filed to divorce Lamar Odom in December 2013 amid his well-documented battle with drugs and cheating. He was MIA for a good portion of the last few months of their marriage, too. It was another 18 months until Lamar finally signed. But because Los Angeles County had a court backlog at the time, the paperwork sat around waiting for a judge to get it to sign off. Meanwhile, Lamar had a near-fatal overdose in a Nevada brothel in October 2015. So Khloe went back to court to dismiss the divorce petition so that she could help him get back on his feet and make medical decisions as his legal wife when he needed the support. After he recovered, Khloe filed for divorce for a second time in May 2016. A judge finally signed off in December 2016, more than 3 years after they'd split. Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon's divorce proceedings lasted far longer than their courtship. After 6 years of wedded bliss following 6 weeks of dating, Nick and Mariah separated in August 2014. Nick filed for divorce that December, but the split was at a standstill for years. There were reports that Nick wouldn't sign off and that it really irked Mariah, who was engaged to Australian billionaire businessman James Packer at the time and hoping to get remarried. She and Nick were finally able to reach an agreement and finalize their divorce in November 2016, a month after Mariah and James called off their engagement. Jennifer Lopez and Marc Anthony separated. It took 3 more years before they were officially legally donezo. If you go by the date of the actual finalization of their divorce, they were married for just over 10 years. Double digits, with a slight caveat. Nice job, guys! After 4 years and some nasty legal wrangling, Richard Gere and Carrie Lowell's divorce was finalized on October 18, 2016 in New York. Details of the deal were not disclosed, but the duo were at odds through much of the process and often squabbed in court. Carrie originally filed for divorce in 2012 after 10 years of marriage. Elon Musk follows up on leaked SpaceX email warning of possible bankruptcy. Cindy doesn't want to talk about it. Although they were stunning to look at on a variety of red carpets, Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford were just not meant to be. After 4 years of marriage, they decided to call it a day in 1995. However, it seems like something must have gone seriously wrong between Gere and Crawford. The former supermodel even refused to discuss the failed relationship in her autobiography, Becoming. "It's not something I want to share," she said. Another one bites the dust. It may have seemed like Richard Gere and Carrie Lowell were one of the more stable couples in Hollywood. However, in 2013, after being married for 11 years, the couple decided to part ways. This certainly wouldn't be the end of Gere and Lowell's saga. The following 3 years would see the two ex-lovers go back and forth in long-standing divorce procedures. Eventually, the pair managed to bring the fiasco to a settlement in the fall of 2016. Chris Rock's divorce was ugly and long-lasting. The comedian filed for divorce from Malak Compton Rock, his wife since 1996, in December 2014. She requested a massive chunk of his estimated $70 million fortune. They even battled over a child they'd been raising but had never formally adopted. The couple also shared 2 biological daughters. Yes, they had a prenup, but because they were married for so long, there's something called a sunset clause that essentially voids the document after the couple hit a certain number of years. Their divorce was finalized in August 2016. Chris later admitted he was unfaithful and wasn't a good husband during their union. Toni Braxton and Carrie Lewis became single in July 2013, but it sure took a while to get to that point. The couple announced their split in November 2009. Do the math, it took almost 4 years to get unhitched. "I had to figure out a plan for my life that had nothing to do with him," she told VH1 in 2012. Carrie Lewis slams ex-wife Toni Braxton for Red Table Talk appearance. That's a problem. Lewis shares 2 sons with the Braxton family value star. Toni Braxton spilled tons of tea about her divorce from Carrie Lewis on a recent episode of Red Table Talk, and now he's speaking out about some of her assertions that rubbed him all the way wrong. During the episode, the singer-reality star who is now engaged to Birdman revealed that there was a time she was angry about having to pay her ex alimony. Toni Braxton opens up about dating her ex-husband after divorcing him on Red Table Talk. "I went through this phase of, ooh, men are the new bitches. That's how I felt. That's what I was so angry about," she said. She also said that she believes their breakup was over money and her lupus diagnosis. That's all for today. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Until next time.